facts you might not know. From the biggest flops to the greatest hits, this is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hey there, everybody. I'm your host for Trash Can Tidbits, Beaton, and welcome back to VR Chat. I decided to hop back on here and show off my brand new avatar. What do you think of my new look? I'm a chungus. My avatar was done by Geckos on Twitter, a really talented artist who knows how to make chunk look good. Thank you so much for this, Ellie. Now, last week I asked the question, which 90s rock band had their music prominently featured in the game Crazy Taxi? The answer is The Offspring. Another band that appears in the game prominently is Bad Religion, but The Offspring reigns supreme. The band has been around since the mid-80s and had been credited with reviving the punk scene in the mid-90s. The game's soundtrack is largely responsible for the band having a renaissance throughout the 90s into the 2000s. Later ports of the game have omitted the band's music due to licensing issues, but it is included in the Dreamcast and PS2 ports. Now, with that out of the way, let's get started with fact number 1. Did you know that Denzel Washington and Queen Latifah starred alongside each other and then went on to play the same character in a movie and TV version of an 80s series? Washington starred as a quadriplegic detective in the crime drama The Bone Collector, and Latifah played his stay-at-home nurse in the same film. In 2014, Washington starred as the mysterious secret agent McCall in the movie version of the 80s action series The Equalizer and its 2018 sequel. Queen Latifah is currently playing a female version of McCall on a new TV series based on the films and the original show, allowing her to kick ass and take names every week. Fact 2. Did you know that the very first trailer for The Lion King consisted of only the Circle of Life opening sequence? Supposedly, the movie was also not the focus of Disney at the time, as they were putting more of their attention on Pocahontas, which they hoped would be a much bigger hit. The Lion King was a secondary project, and the higher-ups of the studio didn't really have any faith in it. As such, the first trailer that was presented was the breathtaking Circle of Life opening scene, and it was met with an enthusiastic response. It also released before Pocahontas in 1994, so it obviously went on to be a big hit. Similarly, the first trailer for Pocahontas was the entire Colors of the Wind sequence. Fact 3. Did you know that the talking sequences in The Jazz Singer were ad-libbed and kept in as an afterthought? The Jazz Singer is noted as the first talking film, but it wasn't always planned to be that way. There have been short films for the better part of the 1920s where music, singing, and talking have been featured, but it was predicted that talking pictures could never be fully profitable. The Jazz Singer's main star, Al Jolson, was a well-known singer and performer of the time, and he said a lot of off-the-cuff remarks in between his songs to keep the audience entertained. The Jazz Singer was originally going to have just song sequences, but on the spur of the moment during filming, Jolson said the phrase that would jumpstart the talking picture revolution. Wait a minute, you ain't heard nothing yet. There are only 2 full talking sequences in the whole movie, and of course, songs, but the rest of the movie is silent. Fact 4. Did you know that at the time of filming Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, only 5 of the 6 graphic novels were in publication? The 6th volume wasn't released until after filming was completed. The production worked alongside the book's author, Brian Lee O'Malley, and he gave them story notes for how the movie should be ended, but there were 2 endings filmed just in case. One in which Scott and Ramona go off together, and the other with Scott getting back together with his original girlfriend, Knives. It wasn't until the final installment of the books was released that the original ending of Scott staying with Ramona was decided to be the film's ending as well. Fact 5. Did you know that actor Jamie Bell, who starred as a boy in the title role of Billy Elliot, actually came from the village where the movie is set? Bell was picked out of over 2,000 boys and ended up being perfect for the role since the part required a lot of dance. He was educated in ballet when he was younger, which caused him to be teased by a lot of his peers, which suited him very well. Interestingly enough, Billy Elliot would later be made into an award-winning stage musical with music by Elton John. Jamie Bell would also go on to play Elton John's songwriting partner, Bernie Taupin, in the biopic Rocket Man. Fact 6. Did you know that the song Make 'Em Laugh from Singin' in the Rain was the only quote-unquote original song in the film, but was also maybe sort of plagiarized? The songs for the film were written by Arthur Freed and Nasio Brown, compiled of their greatest hits, which were taken from other MGM musicals such as The Hollywood Review of 1929 and Babes in Arms. So Singin' in the Rain was technically what we call today a jukebox musical. However, for the scene of Donald O'Connor dancing and flipping around to a song of his own, Freed and Brown wrote a new song, Make 'Em Laugh. The problem, though, was that the melody for Make 'Em Laugh sounded remarkably like the song Be a Clown from the movie musical The Pirate, which coincidentally also starred Gene Kelly. Irving Berlin, who wrote that song, noticed this during a recording session, and even though Make 'Em Laugh was plagiarized, thankfully, Berlin didn't sue. Fact 7. Did you know that the 7 Koopalings from the Super Mario franchise were named after popular musicians and celebrities at the time? This was done by Nintendo of America themselves to hook in gamers. For example, Lemmy Koopa was named after Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead, Roy Koopa was named after Roy Orbison, Ludwig von Koopa was named after Ludwig van Beethoven, and so on. As for Larry Koopa, he wasn't named after anybody in particular. The name Larry just seemed to be a good fit for him. Fact 8. Did you know that the tap dancing sounds heard in most of the old school movie musicals like Singin' in the Rain were dubbed over? This was common practice in Hollywood at the time, and some of the performers wore rubber soles to make their dancing a bit more fluid. One notable example is dancer Ann Miller, known for her super fast tap dancing seen in movies like On the Town and Kiss Me Kate. Pretty much all of her taps were dubbed, and that must have been a challenge because she was that fast. It was rumored that she could reach 500 taps in only 1 minute. Interestingly enough, Gene Kelly's tap sounds in the Singin' in the Rain sequence were dubbed by dancer Carol Haney, who appeared with an up-and-coming choreographer named Bob Fosse in Kiss Me Kate. But that's a story for another day. Fact 9. Did you know that Can You Feel the Love Tonight was almost cut from The Lion King? Allegedly, a few weeks before the film was to be released, Elton John was given a special screening, and he noticed that the film's love song was cut out. He successfully lobbied Jeffrey Katzenberg to put the song back in the film, as it would have been incomplete without the classic Disney love song. Katzenberg agreed, and the song would end up winning the Oscar for Best Original Song. Interestingly enough, Can You Feel the Love Tonight was originally going to be sung entirely as a comedic song by Timon and Pumbaa, which stunned Elton John. These deleted verses can be seen on YouTube, and it's good that it was taken out because it would have completely changed the tone of the song. Fact 10. Did you know that the theme song to Hawaii Five-0 for the TV remake had a few of the musicians who played on the original theme? One thing that Five-0 is famous for is its theme song, and the producers wanted to retain the music but give it a bit of a facelift. The original plan was to do the theme with an electric guitar similar to musician Brian Setzer's arrangement. Although that version was well received, the producers and composer Brian Tyler decided to stick with the original, so they got a full orchestra to re-record the theme song. About 3 of the musicians played on the original track, which added a lot more authenticity and allowed the show to take off once again. And here's this week's trivia question. Naoto Oshima, the co-creator of Sonic the Hedgehog, was originally going to call him something different prior to the name Sonic being chosen. It's interesting to note that Sonic went through different designs before his current design was settled on. Even his name was going to be something entirely different. My question to you is, what was Sonic's original name going to be? And there we go for this week. I hope you enjoyed this list, and also my new avatar. If you ever happen to be in VR chat and see me, come on over and say hello. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell for future video notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Belly bongos. I am the Chungus. This is how it's gonna be, isn't it? Yeah.